Hello everyone. Hello people watching this on the replay. I'm going to say hello to you first while we wait for a few people to join us. So, as you've seen already from the title of this video, I thought I'd spontaneously create this one because I've been listening non-stop, obsessively to Neville Goddard for the last couple of days. And I feel like I've had a whole new level of breakthrough, awareness, understanding about how manifestation works. So I wanted to share it with you and take you through a guided meditation. Hello, I can see people tuning in live, sending you all love. I'm very warm. Let's get comfy wherever you are. Start to relax. Those of you who saw my last video about the law of assumption, if you've seen it, it means that we're all at least familiar with the basic concepts of the law of assumption. So to give a quick recap, I've actually been talking a lot about the law of assumption without realizing that it was called the law of assumption. I've been talking a lot on this channel about how in order to become the next level of yourself, in order to attract the things that you may want, it's important, it's necessary to let go of the old identity, to become that version of you, that higher self, that best version of you, to walk in his or her body, to be her now, and to know, to just totally, inexplicably assume and believe that what you want is coming. So what I'd like to do today is talk us through an experience so that you can reach for how it feels to be that version of you that's already got what you want right now. Okay, so take a moment, get comfortable, get somewhere where you can really not be distracted, and you can really we're going to feel for it, okay? So close your eyes, take a deep breath in, stay there for a moment. Good. Okay. Get comfy. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. While you're relaxing, I'm going to tell you a story because I've got some proof, some very brand new proof of how the law of assumption works. And actually, I've manifested this 3 times in my life. So last night, after listening to Neville Goddard talk about how you've just got to restructure your mind, is how he described it. Recalibrate your mind to how you would think and feel if what you want was already done. Like, just entertain that for a second. Just audition this thing that you've been wanting for a long, long time. What if you were to transport yourself to having got it already now? It's done, it's manifested. How does it feel being that version of you? It might be a bit tricky. You've got to take a moment to think about it if you haven't visited that place yet. And I don't mean, you know, through visualization meditations. Like, I've pictured my dream life plenty of times, but how many moments of my life have I taken the time to transport myself to already being and feeling like it's done already? How would you feel about yourself? How would you feel about the world? How would you feel about what you've got to get up, what you get to do each day? So I promised I'd tell you a quick story, and that is that straight after listening to him share this, I was getting ready for bed. I was putting rollers in my hair. And while I was putting rollers in my hair, I saw that someone who I follow on Instagram had gone live. And he's like he's a businessman, he's a big like sales mentor. And he's got some cool energy, very masculine energy, but you know, he's really cool, really good at what he does. Anyway, so he goes on live and he's pitching about this tour that he's going on. He's doing a sales tour, right? Some live events all across Europe and America. And he's pitching, he's like, you know, you guys can still get tickets, there's still shows available, da da da. And I'm not particularly bothered either way about going to this guy's show. None of them were nearby and can't fly anywhere for that time, so it's all cool. So I wasn't particularly bothered, but I just thought, then he said, I'm going to give away 5 tickets on this live right now. And I just thought, why don't I try out this law of assumption thing? So I thought to myself, okay, there's about 500 people tuned into his live right now. And he said, right, okay, if you guys want free tickets, all you got to do is go to my latest post, tag 3 friends, come back to this live and type the word done in the chat. So I thought, let's do it. And I said, let's do it. And he's going to pick me. He's going to pick me. I'm going to be one of the 5 people who does this and who he picks. So I go, I type the names I tag the people in the post. I come back, I type the word done and I post it. And while I'm posting it, I'm seeing hundreds of other people are also doing the exact same thing. Done, 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 done. And I thought to myself again, he's going to pick me. And of course, there was that other voice in my head that said, oh, but what if this doesn't actually work? Won't I be disappointed then? What if he doesn't pick me and then I feel really stupid for even thinking this? And I was like, that thought came, but I didn't let it last long. I just said, no, come on, look, doesn't really matter either way, but let's just do this. Let's just assume, let's play with this. I almost felt like a magician, like a witch, like someone magic, just like, I've cast my spell. He's going to pick me. And so he's chatting away, like he's giving people time to type done and everything, right? So he's on a tangent, he's talking about something else. And while he was talking, I imagined that in a few moments, when he picks the 5 people, that he's going to look through all the people who've typed done in the chat and he's going to see my name. And in my imagination, I said, I heard his voice saying my handle, Life by Lucie. I just kind of imagined it, right? Anyway, 5 minutes goes by and then comes the time for him to, then he says, right, okay, I'm going to pick the 5 winners now. And I just basically waited for him to say my name. So he says, right, I'm looking through everyone now. Okay, so-and-so, you're a winner. So-and-so, you're a winner. Life by Lucie, you're a winner. And then he picked 2 other people. But at that point, I was just like, this stuff works. And you know, the craziest part is that I have manifested in the exact same way on 2 other occasions, both at live events. The first live event I went to about like guardian angels, and we were in a room of about 500 people, same kind of number of people, but in a real auditorium. And I actually asked my guardian angel, because it was a guardian angels workshop, and this woman said that she could communicate with guardian angels. So I said, okay, let's put this to the test then. So I said, okay, guardian angel, if she can see you, get her to pick me to talk. So I didn't even raise my hand. And then she scans through the crowd on who to pick, and she points at me. She said, girl with the long brown hair next to the guy in the hat. And I was like, hat, long brown hair. Oh my God. So that happened once. And then the last time was at another event, and it was a Q&A session. And he said, the guy who was speaking said, okay, raise your hands if you have a question for me. And the majority of the audience raised their hand. So I was thinking, I'm not going to be able to be seen here. I'm not even that tall. There's people taller than me with their hands raised in front of me. But I just said, he's going to pick me. Angels, guardians, universe. And then he scans the crowd. He goes, yes, you in the blue. And I was wearing blue. So those are just 3 examples of how I've just decided that person's going to pick me. And they picked me 3 times. Now, I'm sharing that story with you because I want to see how you could maybe feel that. I feel like stories give us belief in a technique, you know? And with those things, I was thinking, right, how can I copy and paste that knowing, that certainty, that assumption, and apply it to other goals, bigger things in my life. So I invite you to, whatever it is that you want, in the same way as I was just like, he's going to pick me. Say that for yourself. That thing's going to happen. And not in like a saying it but not believing it kind of way. Just in a like, let's have fun with this. I am the creator of my own reality. And I'm choosing that that thing is done. Like, how often do we actually declare without doubt that that thing is just going to happen? And you don't need to know how. You don't need to know why. Like, I've said these things before on the channel, but I'm saying it now with, I've got it on an even deeper level of understanding. I understand it now. And to some of you, I hope the penny drops like on another level right now. I hope that my new level of understanding of this is translating. Or if you're still like not quite sure, it will, like the penny will drop. You'll feel it on a deeper level, if not now, then soon. So now, in the body that you're in right now, feel your arms, feel your legs, feel your consciousness inside your head, right? You're kind of there in this body, yeah? Imagine yourself having what you want. Like now. I don't mean a picture in your head of some unrelatable thing. Like you're sat here right now and it's already done. You've already got it. You're sat here right now. That's your life. How does that change what you're thinking about and how you're feeling right now? Just notice it. Notice the shift in your energy now that the stuff that you want is your reality. You've just become her. You've just become him. You've activated it. Say hi to yourself. Hi. Hello. I'm me. I'm her. I'm that version of me. I'm the version of me that has it. I'm the version of me that's living it. Hi. Nice to meet you. Hello. You just activated it. Stay there. Stay as that version of you. Your mind might be whirring around thinking, what should I think about? Just experience it. It's you now. How different does it feel? How do you feel? For me, I feel like a weight has been lifted. Do any of you feel that way too? The weight of whatever unknown, still hasn't happened yet, not good enough yet, that weight is gone. There's a wave of relief, of ease. Feel that wave of just absolute certainty. You can relax. And in this space of doneness, oneness and doneness, what now? Ooh, what new possibilities open up for you? What possibilities of new things that you're now going to be able to pour your energy into, that you're going to be able to think about and be and do and create? How can you use your energy differently now that you just know that it's done? I'm seeing some questions come through, people asking me how to manifest winning the lottery. If you're not doing the exercise right now, you're missing the whole very point. Because instead of typing your comment, you could be experiencing and practicing this for anything that you want. I'm creating a space for you right now to pause all the chaos. Can you feel it? To press pause on all those thoughts and stories that have gone round and round and round, causing you to recreate and recreate and recreate those old patterns. We've just pressed pause. And in this unwritten moment, we're choosing to visit the next level of our reality and be there now and step into it first and match its vibration now. Someone else just put in the comments, do you no longer believe in the law of attraction? They both coexist. They're both laws of this universe. They're both integral components to how it all works. I talk about both on this channel. I've just recently learned that part of what I've always been talking about has the name law of assumption. So stay there for a few more minutes before we say goodbye. Just stay in this new, fresh feeling. You know that feeling when you've just bought yourself a bunch of new clothes and you're wearing the clothes, and because they're new and you really like them and they change the way you feel about yourself. You feel like the next level of you. You feel a little bit fancier, a little bit fresher, a little bit happier. This is like that, but on a massive level. Zara. So you've just got this fresh feeling about you, not just about the clothes that you put on. Imagine you've just stepped into the next level of you. That fresh feeling, you no longer have to be revolving and repeating and feeling the same about yourself. This is something that Neville Goddard talks about. He really emphasizes the power of who you are when you go to sleep. And he used this technique when he wanted to leave the war. He didn't want to be in the army anymore, and he wanted to get back to his wife and his little girl. And he just decided, even though the rules were, if you're a fit, able man, you've got to go to war, it wasn't like optional. But he knew, and he didn't know how, and didn't know why, but he just knew that he wouldn't have to fight in that war and that he'd be able to go back with his wife and daughter. So what he did every night when he was there in the training camps, in the army camps, preparing for war, is in a bunker with 25 other men, he went into that bed, and as he drifted off to sleep, in his mind, he wasn't in the bunker with 25 other men. In his mind, he was in bed next to his wife. His little daughter was in the cot, and he fully transported himself there mentally every night, and he fell asleep in that fantasy, imagination, whatever you want to call it, that dimension. He fell asleep there, and 9 days later they gave him the dismissal form, and he was free to not fight in the war and go home to that bed, to his wife, to his daughter. So he talks about, and he said something, he said, most people fall asleep being the person they don't want to be. He said, what you can choose to do is, as you lie on your pillow, to fall asleep as the person that you want to be. You can tell that blew my mind, right? I heard that, I was like, so you may all have heard all of this stuff before, because I know I have. But when I heard it last night, I noticed, I felt it differently. I actually heard it and got it, rather than just heard it and heard it. So I invite you, forget the subliminals. I can see the comments coming through. Just practice being that version of you. And I know that there's going to be those voices in your head that try and say, but it's not my reality, and but how, or but what if it doesn't work? We all have those voices in our heads. I do too. And Neville Goddard said he does too. But then any time that he notices his mind wander off, he just takes it back. He just takes it back. So it's okay if you deviate off. Just bring it back, bring it back, bring it back. See if, some of you won't do this, but some of you will. Out of the 84, 86 people watching live, and however many watch this afterwards, I know that some of you will hear this information, take this information, and actually do it. When we say goodbye in a moment, and you get up, and you return to whatever you were doing, or you go about the next task in your day, you're going to do it as that version of you that you want to become. You're going to become them, and you're going to do everything from that person with that belief that it's already done. That version of you that already has what you want, that's already doing what you want, that already feels, that already looks, that already whatever that you want. You're going to go about your day, and it's a mind game. It's tricking your mind that you're already there. And if you play that story, you could call it a mind trick, but hey, maybe we've just been tricking our minds to believe that we're inadequate, that we're not ready yet, that we can't do it, that we're this, that we're that. That's a mind trick also. We're just changing the record and deciding that we are and that is rather than this is. Some of you will. Some of you will do it throughout the rest of your day. I'm going to be practicing this as often as I can remember in every moment of the day. And I'm going to be making sure that that's who I'm being when I fall asleep every evening. And the scripting letters that I know so many of you love, it ties into that. It ties into that. The scripting letter is all about feeling as if you've already had it just before you go to sleep. So the scripting letter can be there to support you with it. But don't just read the scripting letter and then be like, oh, but that's not my life. I'm going to go to sleep now as this version of myself that I don't want to be. Fall asleep as the version of yourself that you want to be. Be her. Be him. Now. I love you all so very much. Thank you for tuning into this spontaneous live. I'd love to see in the comments afterwards that we've had a question here about if you look in your bank account, you have X amount. You got to deal with what you got to deal with in the 3-dimensional. But all the rest of the time, where could you transport your minds to? There might be a current version of reality that is a fact that there's X amount in your bank account. But do you need to let that amount of money change the persona, affect how you feel about yourself and how you feel about life? I don't mean spend money that you don't have, but, and I'm going to use this word for the lack of having another word. You can positively pretend, fantasize, delude yourself into the idea that you've got the money that you want. And just enjoy feeling like that person, that version of you that doesn't have the worries as often as you can. Some of you might not want to try this, but like I said, there will be some that do and there will be some that will. And I just wanted to share it to anyone who wants to try this. And I'm already seeing so many positive changes in my life just today as a result of doing this for about 24 hours. So as I continue on this journey, I expect I will be sharing a lot more positive things to come out of this experience and this practice. So looking forward to hearing your stories too. Well done. Let's do it. Bye everyone.